Hey there guys, it's Mr. Q, your friendly neighborhood Qatari, and I've got the iPhone X over here. And I'm not going to be doing a typical video where I just talk about specs. I'm going to tell you what I think about the device and mention some things that I think are pretty important. But first, let's unbox this. Let's go back in time and unbox it. Alright, so we got the box, we got some papers. With a SIM ejector tool, we've got the charger, we've got some headphones, we've got a little adapter so you can plug in your 3.5mm headphone jack, and we got the lightning cable. Done. Yup, the fastest unboxing in the world. You'll see that we've got the iPhone X right over here. I know it's the 10, but I'm gonna call it the X because I'm gonna do whatever I want to. This is the X right over here, and this is the original iPhone. Take a look at that. You can see that there is definitely a similarity between the two. You've got those chrome accents over here, and you've got that chrome accent right over here too. And then I felt that nostalgia simply go away because I remembered that this scratched up like hell, and I saw fingerprints and grease and everything all over it. And that's when all of those different companies came out of nowhere and started to sell you like creams and special solutions to like buff your phone. I'm like, oh, another thing to do. But to be honest, you're probably gonna wanna put some protection on this anyway because you've got that camera that still sticks out just a little bit. And because that camera sticks out, when you put your phone on the table, it kind of like wobbles a bit. So you might wanna put it on just so that you can have everything nice and even though you're gonna hide this beautiful body. And having talked about this chrome over here, yes, I do have a black one too, or a gray one, or space gray. To be honest, I always go for the lighter color, but after seeing this, I'm like, whoa, this looks good. Like seriously, it really looks good. Like even the sides, it's got this blackish type chrome thing going on, and it reminds me of Gucci because Gucci likes to use this, black space gray chrome effect. I like it. I would be so sad just to put a case on this. But yeah, these are the two phones. So first of all, let's talk about those cameras. On the back, we've got two cameras, just like the iPhone 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. Both of them have optical image stabilization. This is a very important thing, especially when you're zoomed in, because when you're zoomed in, motion starts to show more than usual. So it's great that they've given us that. The reason why we have two cameras is because we've got the regular one, then you've got the zoom one, which you can do 2x zoom. People were wondering, and I know that not everybody is tech savvy, but some people were wondering, they're saying, wait a minute, but I've got like 10x zoom in my phone. Yeah, that's digital zoom. This is actual zoom. And the reason why that's important is because you won't need to worry about noise and everything should look much clearer. Then from the front, we've got a 7-megapixel camera, and you can also do things like the 8 Plus and do portrait mode. So you can do that contouring, stage light and everything and look like a model. Can't work wonders, but it can try. So the rest is up to you. The main camera is 12 megapixels and it can record in 4K and has HDR. You've got that phase detection, all that good stuff, really cool stuff. And to be honest, I really like the cameras, both the main one and the front-facing one too. But of course, I always wish that the front-facing one is a ultra-wide angle and also has better low-light performance in any phone that I use because I haven't seen that yet. And of course, optical image stabilization because I want to vlog. Next up, let's talk about this display. Yes, it is a beautiful phone. And I really like it. To be honest, let's address, something that was really important. A lot of people have been talking about the fact that you've got that ugly notch on the top. Let me take you back on a journey. You've got different companies such as LG where they had figured let's put a secondary screen on the very top so they can maximize usage of space. You've got companies like LG and Samsung who are like, okay, well, let's do a little bit of infinity display action, but we'll leave bars on the top or the bottom. And LG also with the G6, went with, just a square, but they left gaps on the top. Don't think about this as wasting space because obviously they need to put the cameras and the sensors and speakers and everything up there. Think about this as actually maximizing space because if they went ahead and left this as a black bar on the top, then you would have the status icons over here utilizing the actual screen real estate. So the idea is instead of having black spaces or gaps, they're actually filling it in and giving you more space to use the phone. So that's just food for thought. Just think about it. I know it's kind of annoying, the fact that you've got all of that over there, but once you understand that they've got a lot of sensors, a lot of tech in here, they had no choice, then you'll know that you got to live with it. Now, let's talk about the screen. Dun, 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 dun. No longer are we at 326 something pixels per inch. Finally, Apple has gone up. Yes, we now have 458 ppi, so that makes images look much sharper But I tell you, even with the Retina screen before that, it was still pretty good. But I'm happy that now we're moving on up. What's the resolution? It is at 1125 by 2436, so it's a quite unusual resolution, but that's because it's super ultra wide when you're holding it this way. So that's why it's got that resolution. Now let me talk about the actual screen technology. It uses Super AMOLED technology. Yes, we finally have it. But why is it special? The reason is because, first of all, colors look more vibrant, and second of all, it actually uses less battery power compared to traditional technology, and that is a really good thing. Now, one of the things that we've been reading all over the internet, and we've been seeing lots of people doing videos, is the fact that people are complaining about the Google Pixel 2 and the fact that their AMOLED screen has this color shift issue. So when you hold it like this, it actually changes color. Now, this is something that's inherent in all AMOLED technologies, and I was worried that maybe we might have this with the iPhone X too. The good news is it's not that big, but there is some color shift. Here, take a look at it. You can see that there is a slight shift to a very light blue, and then it goes back to normal. But again, it's only at extreme angles, and I doubt that most people will be doing that. However, one of the things that I need to test out is, am I going to have burn-in? That's the question. Another thing to mention is the fact that this phone is just slightly bigger than the iPhone 8, and it is smaller than the iPhone 8 Plus, but has a giant screen at 5.8 inches compared to the iPhone 8. Nice. So let me answer some quick questions. Do we have NFC? Yes, but only for Apple Pay. Do we have quick charge? Yes, but they don't give you the quick charger in the box. I know. What's up with that, Apple? It's like $1,200 for this. Man, come on. The good news is that you don't have to use an Apple quick charger. You can use a lot of different devices. Is this waterproof? Yes, it is. You can drop this in the toilet and not worry. Although I wouldn't want to use your phone after that. We've also got Bluetooth 5.0. That's a cool thing because we get to have wider, longer range, and of course, it should use less battery power. Having spoken about battery power and the quick charge technology too, how much battery do we have in this? 2,716 milliamps. I know it sounds like a little bit, and it is, quite small, but let's see how efficient this device is, this design is. And I'll have to get back to you to let you know if it's actually pretty good or not. So let's talk about what everybody wants to know. Was it worth getting rid of Touch ID and replacing it with Face ID? I was one of those skeptics, but let's go back in time so I can explain why I was skeptical in the first place. Let's talk about some of the latest Samsung devices. We're talking about the Note 8. So with the Note 8, you've got an iris scanner. Now with an iris scanner, you have to hold it a particular distance, you have to hold it perfectly straight, and if it is in a low light location, usually you don't have a problem, but you could have some issues. So that's something that I didn't like. Then you also had Face Unlock, not like Face ID, but it was Face Unlock. And so it would take a picture of your face, and again, you would have to hold in a particular way, and if it was too dark, it just wouldn't work. Then you had some people who put the fingerprint sensor on the back, which was a good option when it was here, not up here. And you had some people who actually put it on the home button, or I should say the power button. So that was a good option. So that's why I was skeptical when it comes to this face unlocking technology. But I'm happy to say that this works really, really well. Why? It is because when you want to unlock a phone, typically you're not going to hold it up like this. You're just going to hold it up at an angle. The good news is it does work, and that's why it makes you look up, down, left, right, because it's trying to get your whole entire face. So good job. Then I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that when I needed to log into a website, it automatically detected my face, gave a little icon, and entered my password for me that was stored for me in the keychain. And so I thought, wow, this is super useful. And it definitely works. Now, I also did another thing. Whenever you wear glasses, it doesn't work. But with Face ID, I did go ahead and put on some glasses, some pretty thick ones, and they did work. So really good job, Apple. Well done. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Here, 4 thumbs up. Wait, whose thumbs are those? Now, some people were also worried about how it would unlock the phone and then take you straight to the home screen, but this is the way it works, especially since you don't have that home button anymore. So you can either go ahead and touch the power button to turn on the display, or you could go ahead and touch it to turn on the display. And if you had race to wake, then you could simply go boom, and then you could unlock your device. So you got 3 different ways. And even when you went ahead and you unlocked your device, it would simply unlock it with the icon, but it will not take you to the home screen until you actually swipe up. So let's talk about something that I thought was a little bit unusual. This is a giant screen. it's, pretty comparable to the iPhone 8 Plus. How come we don't have the tabs features, that you can have, split screen view? I think that they should definitely add this into the phone. They probably didn't just because there's so many already swiping gestures already, and knowing Apple, they want to like wean us into getting used to swiping up, left, right, and center. But yeah. Now, one of the things that I wish that I had with this phone is, yes, it is nice that you've got, this gray backing, although it looks white, it's gray. You've got that chrome. I want a ceramic white version, Apple. Make it happen so it can match my ceramic white watch. And please don't make it $5,000. This is already super expensive, which brings me to the second point that I do not like about this phone. It's the price point. Now, let's talk about it from a positive point of view, though, right? If it is over $1,000, $1,200 with tax, depending on the country you're in, then maybe it'll make this phone a little bit more exclusive. Although seeing the fact that it's now, 3 months waiting list if you want to go ahead and buy one, maybe it didn't work, and maybe it's not going to be as exclusive. But rest assured, you will be part of an elite crew, proudly waving to the world that you have thrown $1,000 on a device that you will upgrade next year. Let's talk about Face ID a little bit more. So a lot of people are worried about whether you're wearing a cap. It unlocked when I was wearing this cap and without the cap and with glasses, and it actually learns your face as time passes. The way that it does this, it doesn't just simply take a photo. If you held up a picture up to the Face ID, no, it is not going to unlock the device. It actually uses like laser precision points, and it scans your face like in a 3D way, and then it unlocks the phone. It also learns how your face changes. That's what Apple says, right? So if you end up growing a beard, it's going to know that it's you. And I guess that means that there's a degree for a margin of error or change in you. So I guess if you went, this is a question, right? So if it could unlock with your face, let's say you went to a solarium and you got like a super dark tan, would it still unlock? That's a question. We do know that it will unlock for twins because Mashable did a video, which is pretty cool. Go check that out. And then I wonder, how does it learn that you change? Obviously, it could be, with progressive scanning and like taking multiple, images of you, or points or whatever you want to call it. So then I thought, what if you registered your face once, and then 1 year later you come back, you gain some weight, you got a beard going on, and no. I don't know why the director or the editor decides to put this on me. Just take it off me. So let's say you have that going on, will it still unlock? I'm guessing no. But then again, even if it wouldn't unlock with your face, don't worry about it. You can still use your PIN code. Unless you forgot your PIN code, then it's your fault. Now, of course, with Face ID and with this different technology that you have going on, we also have got Animojis. But then I started to think, I don't really use iMessage that much. I do use it sometimes, but not a lot. And I do use different apps like WhatsApp, KakaoTalk, Line, and that sort of thing. So, sadly, you're not going to be able to send your Animojis unless you save them as a video and then you upload them and then send them as attachments. So it's not going to be as instant. So I hope that with an update, they'll be able to add that. So the phone comes in two different variants. You've got the 64 gigs and the 256 gig versions, and they both have 3 gigs of RAM. Sounds pretty low in terms of RAM, but iOS is pretty efficient, and so far I've had no issues. The thing is, you're gonna wanna go with 256, especially if you're gonna be recording videos in 4K, especially if you're gonna be saving a lot. You're gonna be doing, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be doing much more, with this device. However, the new system of backing things up and offloading it onto the cloud with iOS 11 is actually pretty good. So what it'll do is it'll offload certain apps that you're not using very often, and then it will simply, when you need them, then it'll start to download it, and same thing for your images and so on. So you could get away with 64 gigs if you're not a power user. But again, it's just, I know this is their strategy, but it's a few $100s more. Go for the 256 if you really need the space and you're going to be doing a lot of creative stuff. That's my advice. And if you are going to be using iCloud, just make sure you have a really good password. Trust me. Trust Uncle Mr. Q. Let's talk about how you can access certain shortcuts and certain features with the phone since you don't have the home button. First of all, if you press and hold the power button, it'll invoke Siri. If you simply tap it, it will unlock and lock the screen. If you press the power button and the volume up button, this is how you can access a screenshot with a quick tap. If you press and hold the power button and the volume up button, you can access the power off. One of the really cool features is the fact that you can now close apps by simply swiping up, and that's how you also return to the home screen. This reminds me of the Palm devices in the past, like the Palm Pre. I really love that feature. In fact, I remember that when different jailbreakers came out and they had shared, their versions of swiping up to throw away a card, I fell in love with it. I thought, wow, this is fantastic. And so I'm really glad to see that they've implemented in this. I really like, it's very intuitive of simply just throwing away an app. Like, that's it, get out of my face. And of course, even changing apps, I feel is definitely much easier now. I like the switcher. It's much nicer than with the older version. So well done. So how do you access reachability? This is something that is really important, especially because now it's a much longer phone and you can't get to the very top of the screen one-handed if you have small hands like me. So some people have been saying you go into settings, you go into general, you go into accessibility, then you go into touch accommodations, and you should be able to find a feature here that will allow you to access reachability. Sadly, I wasn't able to find it in my settings. I'm guessing it's because I'm on 11.0.1 and I need to update to 11.1. So I will look into that, and I suggest that you do an update if reachability is important. Once you do have that update and you're able to activate it, all you need to do, where you have the swipe up feature to close a page, at the very bottom of your screen, swipe down, and then you'll activate reachability. Swipe down once more from the center of the screen and you'll be able to pull down your control center and your notification tray. That's very useful. So as I mentioned, getting to the top of the screen could be an issue if you don't have reachability. So typically I would hold the phone like this, but now I figured out a new move where I'll hold the phone like this so that I could reach the top. But then of course I gotta do the dance and I gotta shuffle back down to the bottom and swipe it. And I feel like I'm gonna drop the phone. So that is something that I'm unhappy with, but that's the price you pay if you want such a big screen on a phone like this. Apple, I've got a request. You've removed a lot of stuff. Okay, you removed the button, you removed Touch ID, you've removed the headphone jack, but please, don't remove this switch. You removed it on the iPad. I'm begging you with the next version, please don't remove this. This is one of the best things about your phone. I love it when I'm sitting in a meeting and I can just go boom, mute that. I don't want to hear that. Please don't remove it. Guys, if you agree with me, please mention it in the comment section below that we don't want them to remove the mute. Hashtag save the mute. So that's pretty much it. In general, what do I think of the phone? So far, I love it. I think it is beautiful. I typically go for the lighter variants, but I probably would have went with a darker one if I had played with both of them at the same time. But both of them are gorgeous devices. I really think that Apple has done a great job with this phone, and I think whoever buys one is definitely going to be happy. Not with the price point, but they're going to be happy. But maybe when you spend that much money, you probably appreciate your devices a little bit more. Don't forget, you can go ahead and put, a screen protector on this. You probably want to protect that beautiful screen, but yeah, leave it naked for a couple of days so that you can enjoy the beauty of the device before putting on a case. And if you break it, it's not my fault. Just saying. Guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a like, because thumbs are free, but they mean a lot to me. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below. I have another video that is going to be coming up where I'm going to show you some secrets of the iPhone X. So make sure that you're subscribed. And I'm also going to be answering some of your questions, and I'm going to do a dedicated video just answering those questions. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm out. Go play with my iPhone X. Take care.